Next on CBS 8 News Live at 6.
Suicide rates are on the rise in men. Taking a look at the group most affected.
We are in a historic drought. I'm Kirsten Holmes. State officials are now asking you to save water.
With Lake Hodges closed for dam repairs, petitioners are saying it could and should still be open to paddleboarders, windsurfers, and other activity.
Putting homeless seniors into hotel rooms. We'll tell you about the important work that 2 San Diego women are doing.
And from the San Diego County Fair, the rags to riches cookie booth story.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
Use less water. That's the message tonight, just as we enter the hot summer months. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Mayor Todd Gloria was joined by county and state water officials just hours ago asking San Diegans to conserve water. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes was there and joins us live with details. Kirsten, this announcement comes just as some customers in the county are already paying more for their water.
That's right, Carlo. Despite the rising temperatures and the rising cost to actually pay for that water that we all need, they're asking you to cut back anyway. I'm here at the County Water Authority where they say a lot of people are thinking about water as we hit these summer months, but we all need to conserve.
Well, I ain't happy about it. What are you going to do? This is a scarce resource. Scarcity breeds cost.
This afternoon, Mayor Todd Gloria joined state and local leaders to tell San Diegans it's time to cut back on water usage right now. The push for conservation comes right as rates increase 3 to 5%.
None of us like this. This is the last thing that we want to have happen, both the request to reduce our water usage as well as have to pay more for it. But it's the reality we find ourselves in. This is a significant drought.
The San Diego County Water Authority's Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution this afternoon reaffirming their commitment to conservation. They say this is the worst drought in 1,200 years.
San Diego County water officials tell me they are not enforcing the new restrictions, but Governor Newsom is looking into how to punish people who use too much water. Mayor Gloria says even though San Diego is doing a lot better than other California cities when it comes to conservation,
what I know is that Governor Newsom as well as Secretary Crowfoot know that too. And so as they consider statewide regulations, we have asked them, and to date they have been very responsive to the fact and recognizing San Diegans have done their part and that this shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all solution.
San Diego County is already under water restrictions that started on June 10th. They include watering lawns only 3 times per week before 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m. And you cannot use your sprinklers for 48 hours after it rains. Folks we talked to agree that it's time to cut back.
So I try to be as conservative as possible, and because I watch every penny.
It's going up and we're just going to have to keep paying for it. You know, I'd rather be in the position where we can pay for it, you know, but I'm all for the conservation of water. There's a lot of people who like to keep their yards and a lot of water being, I feel, wasted on outdoor landscaping.
We need to do our part. We cannot blame the government for everything. So we have a lot of bad habits. We need to cut that out.
Okay, so county officials tell us you can expect to see people from the water department out at community events handing out drought survival kits and shower buckets that you can use. Take that shower water and use that to water your plants so that we can all help conserve water. Back to you.
So, Kirsten, we all need to look for ways to save water, to conserve. What are the easiest ways for people to cut back on water usage at their homes?
They say the biggest usage of water for a lot of people is watering outdoor lawns and landscaping. I was pretty surprised by that one, but they said that's where most of our water is going. So if we all cut back on that, we'd all be doing our part.
All right. Kirsten Holmes reporting for us live. Time to start saving that water. Thanks.
Today, the United States Supreme Court ruled that people have a right to carry a gun outside of the home and do not have to prove a special need for self-defense. That ruling could lead to gun laws here in California being overturned. Political reporter Morgan Reiner has more on the likely impacts of this Supreme Court ruling.
McGeorge School of Law professor Leslie Gilo Jacobs specializes in constitutional law. She's been closely monitoring the New York v. Bruin case.
Not only did it say that there's this right now, not only to possess a handgun in your home for self-defense, but now there is a right to possess a handgun outside the home.
And you don't have to prove you need the gun for self-defense. She said the court broadened gun rights beyond what many experts expected.
So basically it's saying if there hasn't been something like this done in all of our history, then it can't be imposed, right?
Yes. Exactly. It's adopting a purely historical test.
A test she said other California laws will likely be challenged on, something Attorney General Rob Bonta is fully expecting.
That was true before the Bruin case. That's what we deal with often in our California Department of Justice.
Today, Bonta also announced new legislation in response to the ruling. They're going to look at expanding gun-free zones.
What we're thinking about places like parks, those have been mentioned.
Former Second Amendment lobbyist, now publisher of a gun rights news source, Craig DeLuz, welcomed the decision.
There is no other right where we require individuals to show a need in order to be able to exercise that right.
And told me the Supreme Court ruling does smell trouble for California's other gun laws.
They're going to have to show that there weren't other less restrictive manners in which to meet the state interest. Up until now, the state of California has not had to prove that. They've had to simply say, well, we think this will be something good, so therefore we ought to be allowed to do it. Now the Supreme Court has said, no. You have a much higher level of scrutiny.
Thanks, Morgan. Today, a North County dance instructor pleaded not guilty after being arrested on Tuesday on charges of sexual assault. Investigators say 39-year-old David Silva sexually assaulted at least 4 girls between 2005 and 2014 at several locations, including the now-closed Callahan Institute of the Arts in Encinitas. Today, he was charged with 9 felony counts related to the alleged assaults and faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted. A judge ordered us not to show his face in court. Detectives say there may be more victims and potential witnesses. If you have any information about the case, you're asked to call the San Diego Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers.
Right now, the number of unsheltered seniors in San Diego is on the rise. 2 local moms are on a mission to change that through their nonprofit Housing for the Homeless. They're putting seniors with medical challenges into free hotel rooms. CBS 8's Heather Hope shares how the 2 women are raising the money on their own.
The nonprofit Housing for the Homeless has 5 rooms here at this Midway District motel where they can take someone unsheltered, put them in a room just like this for a couple nights, all the way up to over a year and a half.
So when we bring the seniors in, they have their own room, their own bed, and their own restroom.
Targeting medically fragile homeless seniors to get them off the streets and into permanent housing. 2 women running the Housing for the Homeless nonprofit are making that a reality.
And our elders are falling through the gaps. There's multiple systems that they need help navigating.
Homelessness hits home for Outreach Director Amy Zamudio, whose father went medically bankrupt while she was a college student at San Diego State, and he died at age 62 from leukemia while living on the streets.
He did not tell our family that he had become unhoused.
For the last 2 years, Amy and Joanne Stanley say they have been moms on a mission for San Diego seniors by raising money on GoFundMe to pay for hotel rooms for the homeless.
We let them just sleep, eat, and relax for a couple days. At the same time, we start to help them rebuild their lives from a document point of view. Like everyone we know has lost their ID or driver's license, birth certificate.
Doug Jack is currently living in a hotel room at 60 years old after sleeping in the trunk of his car after losing his life savings on a business venture.
They got me my EBT. They got me my Medi-Cal back. Saw the doctor. My blood pressure's down to 125. Glasses. Dental next week.
After a chance meeting with the 2 coordinators of Housing for the Homeless, Doug says they got his life on track in 3 months and now his own apartment in Talmadge.
I got permanent housing last Friday. I move in July, first week in July.
Housing for the Homeless also helped former gang member Curtis Howard, who was homeless for 15 years after getting out of prison and kept getting denied from many housing programs.
And there was always a certain criteria that you had to fit in order to get in places. And I never fit the criteria.
Curtis not only has a home now, but also serves as a board member for Housing for the Homeless, who helped him.
People need housing now. They don't need waiting lists.
To continue the work that they do, Housing for the Homeless needs volunteers and money to continue to put people in rooms. We have their information on our website, cbs8.com. Heather Hope, CBS 8.
Thanks, Heather. And a new facility will open soon to the public to help victims of child abuse, domestic violence, and human trafficking.
A ribbon cutting was held this morning for One Safe Place. It's located on Los Vallecitos Boulevard in San Marcos, and it offers a lot of free services under one roof, including crisis care, forensic medical exams, legal services, and more. One Safe Place opens to the public on July 5th.